Hi, my name's Mark Red, and as you can see behind me, I have a Blue Sky 360. I've had it for about 2 years and I absolutely love it. Caught many fish from it and have had hours upon hours of joy with this kayak, and I absolutely recommend it to everyone. One of the shortcomings that many people talk about is the hatches. There are 4 hatches on top of the Blue Sky 360, 2 on each pontoon. And I had some trouble with them the other day, and I wanted to walk you through what happened. I did not have them properly closed. I used one of the hatches to put my battery down in, and I closed the hatch and latched one side of it, which left a gap about that big. I went out when I probably shouldn't have. The chop was great trying to go across the bay, a few white caps, and on the way over, I took some water into one of the pontoons. I knew that it was getting full. The wind was supposed to lay down. It didn't. I started on the way back. The pontoon filled and the Blue Sky flipped. Now, this was not the fault of the Blue Sky. 2 things went wrong. One, I took it out past its limits. It was probably a little bit too windy and a little bit too choppy. There were white caps, and so that's on me. Second of all, even though I know that some of the hatches leak, I didn't have mine entirely closed. So both of those were on me. Since that day, I've thought a whole lot about how I can keep that from happening again. Even though I'm going to keep my hatches closed, and even though I'm going to be a little bit more circumspect on how I handle going out into the waves and into the chop across some of the bays that I fit, I began to do some research, and I ran across these full sea kayak float sets. Now, each one of these, I bought 2 of them. Each one of them comes with 2 pontoon fillers, air fillers. Let me get this one for you. This is the back filler. This will be the one that fits in the back pontoon. The one that fits in the front pontoon, I'll get it out of this right now. I've already put one of them in. These were about $40 a set, maybe $45 a set on Amazon. I'll put the link down below, or we'll try to get it to you somehow. But this is the front pylon. You can see how it will slide up in there, and then you take and you fill it with air. Now, this will not make your kayak any more buoyant. This will go unnoticed. However, it has been told me by my engineering friends that if we ever swamp the kayak again, if they ever fill up with water again, this will displace enough water to keep it afloat upright. It won't allow it to flip over on its head. Now, when I flipped over, I ended up riding the back of the kayak laying on top of the rack. It was totally upside down. I laid on the back of the rack and floated for about 3 hours before I was found and towed into land. Everything was found. Everything was fine. I lost all my fishing gear, lost a trolling motor, lost everything that you can imagine to lose, lost my power pole, my spike, ended up spending about $1,000 replacing everything. But again, it was my fault. It wasn't the boat's fault. I took it out past what it should have been taken off, and I didn't have my hatches closed. But even then, I believe that if I would have had these in there, that we wouldn't have had a problem. So I want to stop right now, and I'm going to insert one of these, and we're going to go ahead and show you how it fills it up. All right, those of you that are familiar with the 360 will know that this is the front hatch. I'm going to open it. Let me take this off so perhaps you can have a little bit better look in there. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to slide this up inside the front. And let me go get my air hose. The air hose doesn't have a real good connection, so you got to kind of just make it up as you go along. But you can see how I can slide this up into the front and then leave that hose there and check it every once in a while. Putting this back in, taking that in, and you'll never know the difference. We can do the same with the back here in a couple of seconds, so let me get that ready. Okay, here we are now at the back pontoon. And here, this one is a little bit bigger. I guess you could put either one of them in the front or the back. I'm choosing to put the bigger ones in the back. It has a point, so I'm taking that and just kind of shoving it down back there. And I'm gonna get my air hose. Unscrew this lid. Not quite full filled up, but I'm going to go ahead and shove it back down in there as far as I can push it. Seems like there is, I didn't know that, there is a piece of the styrofoam that's back there in the back legs. I didn't know that. So that's fully inflated. Now I may want to leave that, or I could use that because I don't use these anymore. And you can see how that fills up. I don't use these back ones anymore for anything. You take, and I'm in good shape. Now you say, how do you know that this is going to work? Well, there's really a couple of ways I guess I could find out. One is to go out and swamp myself again, and I don't want to do that. The other is to drag it into my neighbor's swimming pool, put it in there, and try to flip it. I don't want to do that either. I'm just going to let this serve as a little bit of peace of mind and knowing that I did a little bit to help the buoyancy in case I ever have a swamped pontoon again. And again, I hope this helps you. It's gonna give me a peace of mind. It's gonna help me when I get out in the choppier waters, or when I feel like I am in a little bit of water where it may fill back up those hatches where it comes over the top. So I just wanted to let you know this is what I'm doing. I appreciate your time. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy your 360.